Now to do the cuff on all of these stockings, we're going to start by moving our stitch marker. We're not going to be working in the round anymore. We're going to be working back and forth in rows for the top of this stocking. So what we will do is we'll start by chaining 25. Now, once you chain 25, you can always fold this down in half because that's what we will be doing to see if you like the height of the stocking cuff. If you want it shorter or higher, you can chain less or more. Now, once I've chained 25, I have a turning chain here. So the first chain is my turning chain. I'm going to start by working in the second chain from the hook and across and single crocheting. So I'm going to be single crocheting 24 stitches until I get all my chains worked and I'm back to the top of the stocking. Once we have worked back to the top of our stocking, we have 24 single crochet stitches. And now we are going to simply slip stitch the next 2 stitches from the top body of the stocking. And then we are going to turn our work. Now, if you're working this on your lap, sometimes if we're turning our work a lot, you can place this into a shallow bowl and just rotate it on your lap. And sometimes it gets you in less of a yarn tangle if you're turning a lot. Now, once we've turned, we have the 2 slip stitches we just did from the top. We are going to skip those 2 slip stitches, and in the back loop only, we're going to single crochet. And then we'll be doing that for all of the stitches across here. So we're going to single crochet in the back loop only for 24 stitches. Now, if you really like to have this top part be extra straight, in the last and the first stitch, when you're on the end here, you can single crochet through both loops, and that will make it a little bit sharper. But for these stitches, we're going to be single crocheting across in the back loop only. Now, as I get to my last stitch, I'm going to work through both loops just for a bit of a sharper look, and then I'm going to turn my work again. And now we're going to be working right back down. So we're going to be doing some repeats here. It's a really easy thing to do. And I like to just watch a TV show while I'm making this ribbing. It's very therapeutic. So start by working through both loops of the very first stitch and then working in the back loop only for the next 23 stitches. We will single crochet. Now, after working those stitches in the back loop only, we're back down to the top of the body of our stocking. And once again, we will slip stitch through the next 2 stitches along the top of the stocking. And then we're going to turn our work. You'll notice we're just repeating our steps again, where we will skip the 2 slip stitches from the body, and then we will work in the back loop only for 23 single crochet stitches. And for the 24th stitch, we will work through both loops. So you're just going to continue to repeat that process, working in rows until you worked all the way along the top of the stocking. And when you get back to the start, we'll come on back and I'll show you how to join your first row with your last row. Now that we have worked all the way around, it's time to join our current row with our first row. And in order to do this, we're going to start by inserting our hook into that first stitch. And then we're also going to insert it into the chain space, that first space on the first row. Then we're going to yarn over and slip stitch those together. Then for the rest of the stitches down this opening, we are going to start by inserting our hook into the back loop only, through the chain space from the first row, yarn over, and slip stitch. So we're simply slip stitching the current row with the first row that we started, and we'll be doing that all the way down. Now, after working all the way down, you can go ahead and pull your end through and fasten off. We can weave in this end, and what we have here is when we flip down the top cuff of our stocking, then we have this beautiful stocking top that looks really nice and ribbed, and we can't even really tell where the beginning of the round was.